Sorry about that.
Well, it's completely reasonable. Jesus.
Yeah, I got a call. What happened? I didn't. That wasn't a radio tease. I got a call from Jim Florentine. I knew it was bad news because he wouldn't call me on the air.
Yeah, you ran out of here. I knew something was up.
And Otto died, and I just couldn't say it when I came back.
Yeah.
I didn't. Obviously, it's always hard to say that, but I physically couldn't say it, so I wrote it down. But it wasn't to be mysterious. So it wasn't some stupid tease. I don't know what he died of. Apparently, he had taken a nap and just didn't wake up.
Jeez.
He was 53.
That's pretty bad.
It's terrible.
Fuck.
We've known him a long time. You've known him forever.
You comics. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking believable.
I don't know if it was tied into what had happened where he was in the hospital for a while.
Yeah, he was in the hospital last year, was it? For a while?
Almost,
was it
almost a year ago.
Or something?
Meningitis of some sort, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess his girlfriend was calling people, and this was just the first I heard of it. It's just heartbreaking.
No shit. No. Yeesh. It's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That shit just blindsides you.
He was a funny fucking guy, man.
Oh,
I mean, we always say that about people when they die off court, but Otto was a funny fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't think
no one made me laugh harder than him. No one. As
so
a guy.
Fucking funny. So inappropriately funny. I love it.
God.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That break we did where he talked about the fucking lady from Wizard of Oz dying.
Right.
Get me some twisty ties and I don't remember, hay. There was something he said. It was such a brutal.
Yeah,
right.
It was fucking brutal.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Jeez.
It's like, what do you say? You don't even know what to say.
I know.
It's
just
horrible.
fucking, it's a bummer, as they say.
It seemed like he was doing, pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Got over that illness, which was extremely scary for him and everybody else. He was in the hospital a while. Wasn't it? He was in Canada for what? Was it for the comedy festival?
Oh, I don't even know what he was doing.
Yeah. Then you fast forward, he came in here looking great, all rested and tan and feeling much better.
Yeah. Gee.
We were just, you always say that when you die. We were texting the other day, back and forth, doing Bob Levy and Clockwork Orange. That was the last thing we were talked about was Bobby. It was fun, too.
Shit.
I realized when I was texting him, too, like, I'm such a perv with my phone, and I'm such a piece of garbage, but I'm like, it's so nice to be just texting a friend,
just
having some laughs, like not
funny stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I had an odd revelation while I was doing that. Like, it's so nice to be texting healthy and just having some fun together.
Right, not just
laughs.
looking for pussy or
like
trolling.
It made me feel really normal and healthy. Just
yelling at somebody or something. Yeah, just having some laughs.
Did some amazing stuff for this radio show. Did our comedy festival and
yeah.
I knew him way before then, though, when he was performing at Fast Eddie's in Huntington.
Oh yeah, he would just in Huntington.
He would just slay.
He's been a fucking name to go see for years.
The whole town knew about him because he would come up to Fast Eddie's and just kill it.
Yeah,
he was just amazing. Never really got his due. That's what really
he never
sucks.
did.
No, he didn't.
Bob Levy. Bobby.
Yeah, I just got the call just now, and I'm just shocked, man. I mean, we were friends for like 20-something years, and, he finally got his life together. And for this to happen, we were just talking last week about stories from what we used to do when we were crazy, and we're like, I can't believe we're still alive, and, I don't know what happened,
Right.
It's just like, it just blows me away that just one after another. I mean, we're going down, it's like fucking wrestlers have shit like comedian. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Just telling jokes, And it's just like, this really hit me, man. And we were going to hang out. In a week or two, we were going to Florida for a gig. And he goes, let's stay a few days and hang out and have a good time and get some sun. And I was like, yeah, man, that sounds great. And it's just like fucking unbelievable because, he was a legend in this business and always will be known as that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to be kept up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He may have been more underground than most people, but most of the people that are underground are better than you see on TV. So
when you pop up on other comics' favorite comic lists, he was
on a lot of people's lists.
When you talk to comics about who was fucking hilariously funny, fucking Otto,
right? Bob, how was he doing lately? I mean, he was on our show, I don't know, not that long ago, and he looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he call me up and he goes, "It's right to have a couple beers, right?" And I was like, you don't need to drink. I mean, but, he goes, just one to sit in the yard, and like he was basically sober. He was off the coke, and I just hope it's not, people fall back. I haven't fell back in, almost 4 years now. But, it could shock your body and that shit. But I just, you know what I mean? I just hope he went peaceful because, like working with him, like it was the greatest thing because we used to go to Pips to work, right?
Right.
And that was a well-known comedy club. A lot of big stars came out of there. David Brenner, Dice, and many more. And we played there one weekend, and he looked at me and he goes, "We made it." You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you see, in comedy, most fans think you make it when you got it on TV or something like that. When most of this shit on TV, they couldn't follow me with their fucking dick in their hand, okay? So they ain't fucking nothing compared to us. And, it's just so shocking when I got the call. Like, when you just talk to somebody and you're just talking about the future and saying, let's team up together. We'll get Roger to get us some dirty shows,
Yeah.
And he seemed so fucking happy, you know what I mean? Because he loves working. We always had fun working, have such great... I'm writing a book now, and we were going over stories that we did together when we were partying, when, after a show, we got a gram of Coke, and he made me bring George home first before we did it because he couldn't sit in the trunk. And that was years ago. But he's clean. You see what I mean? When you fucking get your shit cleaned up, you can talk about it and laugh at shit.
Right.
And this is fucking shocking. You know what I mean? For somebody that I've known since fucking I started this fucking thing and looked up to and was the nicest guy. If anybody says a bad word about Otto, you don't fucking know him or you're a fucking asshole. Off stage, that guy, he might have been the filthiest motherfucker. And I was just bragging to him about him to someone the other day. I go, he is the filthiest motherfucker out there, but he is hilarious. And you can watch him over and over.
Yeah.
And it's just really fucking shocking that fucking this shit is going on, man. I don't understand it, man. I mean, I'm fucking lost right now because I just got the phone call and.
Yeah, this shit's always fucked up. Just don't know what to do or say. Right. Just walk around in a haze.
Yeah, it's like you don't know what to say. You don't know, what the fuck do you say to his girlfriend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it, you got to take care of her, do a show, you know what I mean? Fucking raise some money, you got to do something in his name,
Yeah.
He was a fucking legend. I don't give a fuck if, you know what I mean? All these douchebags can get on fucking TV or whatever the fuck with their shit material because they got a pretty look or something like that. But let me tell you something. The real fucking legends are the ones that fucking go out there and bust their balls every night and fucking kill in front of people.
Yeah.
And there should be something, a fund made up for him where his name would carry on because, I mean, he did mean a lot to a lot of fucking people. And, of course, you guys. I mean, he fucking loves you guys. You know, he's always talked about you guys, you know?
Right.
Because you guys are fucking real, you know?
He was fucking hilarious on the show, too, yeah.
Yeah, he came to you guys because you guys are fucking real. He's a real fucking person. He's not into the bullshit Hollywood. That's why he came to you.
I gotta tell you that George thing was creepy though at times. I remember. I remember at NEW. He comes in the early days when we didn't know him that well, and he's just killing it for us. And then, like, in between breaks, he always loved reading the newspaper. Otto loved getting knowledge, and he's reading the newspapers while we're in break, and I look over, and then I kind of, like, get Ant's attention. I go, you gotta look at this. What is he doing? And he's reading the newspaper, and George is reading along with Otto. Like, he's moving George's head and stuff. And
moving his eyes, like, back and forth.
And I never forgot that, because I'm thinking, oh, my God, he's not doing this for anyone. He doesn't even realize we're looking at him right now.
He's reading.
And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what is that about?
Well, that's what it is. It becomes like, you know, it's part of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to him. And, like, when he was done with his set, like Norton can tell you, he would wrap his doll up, his head up, like, you know, like an Iranian or something like that. So it was comfortable. It had, like, the headgear on it. But it always had to go home before we went out after a show.
Man.
And he always had, like, you know, Rodney loved him, okay? Mm-hmm. And he always had, he goes, listen to this message. We always, every time we went back, we listened to it. And he's like, hey, kid, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Let's go. You got it, you know? You're the man, you know? You make me laugh, you know? But, you know, I think he was somewhat a little bit afraid of success.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that you can never sit down with a guy and just, like, a sweetheart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, there's scumbags in this business. You know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, nobody could say that about him. I mean, he was a true fucking person, and you know, it's just you wake up and you just fucking, you know, I'm listening to you guys. I finally got my schedule set up, and fucking I got a call, and I'm like, this has got to be a fucking joke, because we were just talking last week. We're supposed to go to Florida next Saturday.
Right,
and I'm like, fuck, we were going to hang out and that shit. And
sucks.
Fucking, I'm just like, I don't, you know what I mean? It makes you think about everything, you know?
It's just fucking heartbreaking.
You never know.
A guy who never got his due in the business. And, you know, he's just another funny guy who the business just did not give what he deserved to him.
Right.
He was another funny guy with all these fucking mediocre motherfuckers because the critics like him and because they carry the right narrative or ideology. And a brilliantly funny guy like him. And Otto was punch you in the stomach funny. Nobody made people laugh. When he killed, it was absolutely unfollowable.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that all the comedians would walk in to watch. And I remember somebody at a roast, it was years ago, this is probably 1992 or 93, was talking about somebody. And they said, they mentioned, what did he say about Otto? He said something about, you'll notice that the comedians in the room, there was a roast that the public was at, and he said, and you'll know who the comedians in the room are because they're the ones in the room who are not laughing until Otto is on, and then they're going to be the only ones who are. And I always remember that as such a great description of mixing Otto with comics and the public.
Right.
And he would just come up
that's what he always said. He always said, how come these pieces of shit are on TV and we can't get a fucking special? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, it's because, you know what I mean? Like these MTV guys, they got 15 fucking minutes. They're fucking selling out. Are you fucking kidding me? Comedy is a fucking, like, when, you know, like me, Jenny, you know, Otto, Florentine, you know, everybody that you know that's fucking anybody that's fucking powerful and knows comedy. It's just such a shitty fucking business because they put out shit on TV, yet, you know what I mean? So people don't go as the clubs. They're like, if this is what's in clubs. No, that's not what's in clubs. We're in fucking clubs.
Right.
Come and see fucking real comedy, man. It's not some fucking 18-year-old fucking girl that has 15 fucking minutes.
Ooh.
It's just one of those things. Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. I'm sure I'll see you before the thing that's
Bob. Thanks, man.
To help out the family with.
Yeah. All right, Bobby.
Take it easy,
Bob. Bob Levy, who was very close with Otto George. Jimmy just told us that Otto died in his sleep.
Yeah, I got the call from Jim in during the thing.
Right.
It's really weird to not be able to say that. I just couldn't say it.
Right.
It was, whatever. We all act weird when we hear that, and then you take a couple minutes. But it's just terrible.
Do you remember the first time you met him or saw him?
Yep. It was in the Varsity Pub. And it was before I did comedy. I was just starting, and me and my buddy would go to watch shows. That's where I first saw Florentine, and guys like Quentin Heggs, and that guy Jeff Zabrowski, who I did get an update on, by the way. He retired and won some kind of lottery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing good. But Otto was one of the guys that Patrick Gaynor, who was the guy who really, I would not be doing comedy if it wasn't for Patrick Gaynor, told me.
Who was Patrick Gaynor? I don't even.
He was a local booker.
Oh, okay.
And he died years ago, and the Varsity Pub was the first place I ever went on. So I would go and watch the shows on the weekends. I would never heckle the comics. Sometimes Patrick would let me introduce the show just to get me on stage before I ever performed, and that's where I saw Otto for the first time. And it was like seeing Zeppelin for
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, seeing him for the first time was a shock.
Right.
And I think I saw him at the place in Huntington, Fast Eddie's. That was the first place I saw him.
They taped them, and then that was one of those tapes you got to remember way before the internet. I'm talking like my BAB days, so 92 to 95-ish, somewhere in there. And they taped them a couple times, and that tape, man.
Yeah.
By the time you got a copy, you almost couldn't, hear it anymore. But he was one of those guys where his stuff was just passed around and traded.
Yeah, if he was going to be around locally, everyone knew it.
Right.
And you had to go see him because he was like you were going to see shit you weren't going to see anywhere else.
But you had to go pick him up.
Always.
All you guys have stories about that.
Yeah.
You'd have to pick him up he lived off Jewel Avenue in Queens at one point, and I lived in North Brunswick, and I remember I would pick him up to go to.
You'd have to go.
Yeah. Wow, that's a hell of a drive.
Right.
I remember, what's his name? Oh, Great White Gorilla. He used to have to pick him up all the time.
Yeah, Jeff
Norris.
I remember he stepped in dog shit and brought it in my car, and I wanted to fucking strangle him, so I just got the car. And Florentine was with me. He's like, Otto, you tracked the whole log in the car. He brought a fucking, it was like a log of horse shit. It's like, you dope.
It wasn't just a little,
a giant piece.
You brought the whole log.
Yeah, you brought the whole log in.
Is Florentine up for talking or not really? I don't want to force anyone to get on the show, but maybe get word out if he wants to call in. That'd be great. I also remember at NEW, he was this funny that we tolerated some of his stuff. Like he would kill for a minute or two, and then feel like it wasn't going well, and then he would just leave. And me and Anthony would sit, and certainly Jimmy too, saw this over the years, and all of a sudden, like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
He would just run out. He got that under control years later, but
yeah.
You remember those days?
Yep.
Well, he thought he sucked. He's gone. I'm like, he was killing.
Yeah.
Oh, it just sucks.
It's just I fuck enough of this. I fucking hate it. I mean, you just gotta kind of, get through it. What do you do? There's nothing you could do.
There's nothing you do. You just
gotta feel like shit now for, everybody makes it about
How
them,
come
though.
Otto wasn't able to become more of a star? That's a pretty good question. I don't know.
He was one like fucking Patrice.
He should have.
He wouldn't play the game. He wouldn't. I think it's one part of his career. It was probably his demons and substance abuse that kept him from really achieving. But then, he's not going to compromise and not say Pope wrote cunt, sir.
He never had the proper management. I don't think he ever had the proper people. Rick Messina really loved him, who was Tim Allen's. All those guys loved Otto.
Right.
And they really did. And he was in Comedy's Dirtiest Dozen with Chris Rock and Bill Hicks and a bunch of those guys. And I think that they loved him, but it's like, what do you do with a dirty ventriloquist. I'm guessing that's what the business, which is so uncreative and pathetic. And every time they come out with those fucking funniest people lists, I want to just fucking strangle the dummy who wrote it, because there's usually 10 people that really, or 15 people I think really deserve to be on it. And the other 35 that are just like, oh, you fucking...
Really? Benicio del Toro? Is he a hoot?
It's just the weirdest, and it's like a guy like Otto will never make a list like that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And he was funnier than any of them.
Yep.
He was funnier than any of them.
Jeez. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Where did I work with him? Having some fucking awful shows, too. Well, when they didn't like him, it was ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There was no ambiguity. They hated him. Boy, it was full steam ahead.
Right.
But he had no problem with that. Right?
No, he didn't like it, but I mean, he knew how to deal with it. I mean, he couldn't change gears. He was who he was.
Yeah.
And so he would just kind of fucking plow ahead and make it worse for him.
Yeah. He could rip into people. Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow, did he say some great stuff.
Yeah.
We got any Otto and George stuff we could play today?
Yeah.
But you guys find a few...
Well, we're looking through stuff right now, but we actually have the Wizards of Oz line.
Oh, God, yeah.
A little 2-minute
Oh, good. All right.
thing if you want to go to it at any point.
Yeah, why don't we do that now? We'll go to break with this, and then we'll continue.
Yeah.
She dressed immaculately in an elegant royal blue dressing gown. Then, with her hair properly styled, she took an overdose of sleeping pills. She lay down on the couch, covered herself with a gold blanket over her shoulders, and tied a plastic bag over her head.
Then she shoved hay in her twat and asshole.
After all that beautifying, just shoves hay in her twat and God damn.
Maybe grass, too.
Andy M.
Read the note she left behind.
Yeah.
Read the note.
She left a note behind that said,
I love that, man.
I am now about to make the great adventure. I cannot endure this agonizing pain any longer. It is all over my body. Neither can I face the impending blindness. I pray the Lord my soul to take. Amen.
Wow.
And then her landlady found her.
Oh, that's great. She died.
Hay is such an unpleasant thing to shove in your twat and asshole.
And asshole,
Like
yes.
mulch would be okay because it's soft grass.
No, that's hard.
But hay would hurt your cunt.
It's
Your
gonna
ass.
perforate
Brittle.
things.
Was she sick or just not getting work?
Just not getting work. No one wanted
sick.
Annie M. in
Nobody's hiring me. I got to
1962.
shove hay in my mouth, cunt and asshole. Give it a fucking dry cleaning bag. Well, 206, more hay, and a fucking run down to the dry cleaner. Be a dear, run down to the dry cleaner. Give me some Twistix.
Fuck.
From 206, more hay.